Hello and welcome. I am Massimo and I'm joined today by Luca and Sharon. On today's podcast, we will talk about the future of KDG and how integrating modern technology into their academic system can help them get closer to their mission of giving everyone an equal chance to discover and develop their potential, as they believe that everyone can have a positive impact on our society and planet as a whole. So, what do each of you think is the biggest technological driver for the educational sector right now?
So I think that making technology work in education is all about creating a good online space. It's like a special website just for students and staff at KDG, like a school website. This online place helps them talk easily, find info, and get the information they need. Also, making this online spot is super important because it changes how the education is happening. Also, it makes teamwork easier and lets people share info and brings in fun and new ways of teaching.
Yeah, of course. I can see why you're saying that, but I also think that technology nowadays, especially modern technology like AI, VR, and blockchain, I see how they can create a lot of new learning opportunities for improvement of educational institutions if we would integrate them more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then another supplementive technological driver would be connectivity and data, which it relies heavily on data, seeing which students have good grades, which students have bad grades, and then depending on those data sets, see how certain students can be helped, whether they need help because of bad scores or they need help for better opportunities. But with that being said, what do you think students and staff are lacking if there wouldn't be any innovation in these areas?
So I think that without user-friendly platforms, students and staff struggle to connect and get info quickly. No effective platform means that teamwork and engagement suffers. Also, personalized insights for better learning. If that's missing, it's not just about tech, it's fixing communication, speeding up info flow, and using data for solid support. Also, without these changes, efficiency drops, collaborating falters, and the chance to amp up learning for everyone slips away. It's about making those crucial moves for a better learning vibe.
I think there's something very big we're overlooking, and it's the lack of online classes and recordings for students. Because today, with the new age of like social media and stuff, a lot of people get anxiety, and a lot of people want to stay home. A lot of people don't like to be in a class with that many students, or there are also people who have disabilities, and it's hard for them to come to class. So I think something that we should integrate a lot more is online classes and recordings, so it's easier for people to follow the lectures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I essentially agree with that. I think most of us agree on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see how KDG has responded to previous such problems and what their strengths are.
Um, so I think that KDG handles changes well with a clear plan based on their innovation pillars. These are the personal development, the global competence, sustainability, and the data/tech savviness. They focus on individual growth, global awareness, eco-friendliness, and staying tech savvy. I think that this strategy makes KDG really strong in innovation. They're ready to adapt and create a modern learning environment.
Yes, of course. Something that I also think is really important is culture and leadership, and how we can see that KDG organizes a lot of opportunities for students to network with people who can help them in the future. Like we've seen last week with the Chamber of Commerce event, I really thought it was very good for the students because they could actually ask questions to people, and they could, yeah, essentially just communicate in person with people and not just read a book. And I think it makes the students much more creative. They can show their creativity and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with the extracurricular classes being good, promoting, entrepreneurship and etc. But I also think like just KDG's portfolio management and their process of how they actually implement innovation is very good. Especially since I talked to the dean, like she made it very clear they didn't just have one head of innovation; they actually had different people responsible for innovation, different sectors that they actually excel in. And another thing is they're also very adaptable to non-functional innovations. So if they try to innovate something, and they see it doesn't work, they actually adapt very quickly. They try to think of new things instantly. An example of this was the intranet, which was made 3 years ago. And then over the next couple of years, like 1 to 3 years now, they've realized this isn't exactly what they wanted to. This isn't the platform they wanted for the staff or the students. It doesn't work exactly that well. So they definitely want to innovate on that end. And also with the new campus, for example, like they knew people wanted a more sustainable, more green campus, so they already started building that, and
Yeah.
it should be done in 2026. So they're definitely open to innovation. They're experienced in it. They know the process. So I think they're pretty well off. But with that being said, since we talked about the drivers, the disruptors, what they're good at, what the potential problems are, what do we think is a good area to innovate, and how would we recommend them exactly going about it?
In my opinion, like a cool idea for innovation could be going digital with the educational stuff, like turning learning materials into digital materials that more people can use, especially those who do better learning on their own than in classes. I also believe that making the classes available online or having recordings could be a game changer. This way, students get to learn at their own pace, and it's handy for those who prefer studying independently. Also, to make it work, KDG could invest in easy-to-use online platforms and cool tech for recording and delivering classes. Also, going digital could make learning more flexible and work better for different kinds of students.
Yeah, I also think that something that's very important that can be a key innovation theme is artificial intelligence, because imagine if we could fully integrate AI into the structure of KDG, and how much it could ease staff burdens and improve workflow. Let's say we will take AI-powered bots into KDG's platform so they can answer FAQs, as how much this will alleviate the workload of some staff, and will lessen misinformation when two different sources give different informations to students. It could be so nice.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that, with lessening the burden of the staff. And also, like, we are big proponents of technological advances, but that doesn't mean there shouldn't be an option for students to still go to class or campus if they want to. So for digitalization, yes, people can follow class online. That doesn't mean everything should be online, just to make that clear.
Yeah.
But also, since KDG is very specialized, it is a specialized educational institution specifically for management and IT, even though they have a couple different programs. A big part of their thing is management. So that means their students need to have global competence. They need to be able to interact with students from different cultures. They need to be multicultural, because later on in their business life, they will be exposed to a lot of these different backgrounds. And a way we suggested about improving this is by making global collaboration programs between universities. So essentially what we mean with this is KDG would go out of their way to collaborate with different universities who also would like to do a similar idea. The idea being, you make a platform for students from different universities, the ones in collaboration with each other. You assign one small class in the program to this assignment, and then you have students from different countries from across the world work together on this assignment on a platform that will be set up by these collaborating universities. So essentially how it could work is they make a platform, there is a forum. In class, they're being told, all right, you have this assignment and it needs to be due, in 3 weeks. So you go to that platform, you say, I need a teammate. And then, for example, you study in Belgium. Someone, for example, from Austria says, yes, I also need to do this assignment. Can we work together? And then online via that platform, they can work together on an assignment. That way they're exposed to, different cultural views. It's also a good networking opportunity for students. And it just overall develops global competence. It also makes people more flexible, etc. I think the idea is pretty feasible because most management and business programs are in English, so the language barrier wouldn't be too big of an issue. If you start in Europe as well, the time zones shouldn't be too big of an issue either. Once you start collaborating outside of Europe, that could be a problem. And the impact, like we said before, it's a lot of networking possibilities. It could be very useful later in life to have business partners across, like abroad, we can collaborate with. And essentially, the problem this fixes is some students just don't have enough cultural exposure. They don't have enough global networking, possibilities. So this entire program would actually enrich that, like their cultural enrichment and their networking skills. Just as a general idea, how this would work is KDG would start like building partnerships with other institutions. They would set up a platform together. Then they would get the students on board, make them know how it would work, what you need to do. Then assignments would be allocated to specific students or students that want to work together. The collaboration period or the deadline, however long it will be, 3 weeks, 1 month, doesn't matter. The lecturers can decide that, will ensue. Also, make sure there is faculty support, specifically IT specialists who can help with any IT related issues, but also the lecturers who give these specific classes so they can help the students. Then it's just any normal assignments. There will be assessment and feedback. And even after the assignment is done, there are still networking opportunities with the people you've met online. You might have even made friends, get to know other people better. And then depending on how good this went, it will be recognized or it won't. If the other universities also like the idea, then you can just keep improving on this idea, and hopefully, it helps just management and international students of business be more multicultural. I don't know if the two other people of the podcast have any closing thoughts about what we talked today.
No, not really. Not really. It was very nice talking to you guys, like always.
All right.
Nice talking to you guys as well.
Well, thank you for coming to the podcast, and everyone else, have a nice evening.